game.
Coach, Wade didn't come from no championship.
But what I'm saying, Coach, my point of
Wade hadn't been. He haven't even been coaching long enough.
Well, Coach, my point of it is, if you go to a valley and you go just like with Vincent Brown, and you go one, that kills your career. If I'm Teddy Keaton, I'm not coaching at Valley. If I'm Teddy Keaton, I'm not coaching at Norfolk State or even at Delaware State, because I know I'm a better level coach than that. I'm waiting for X school to open up that has the ability to be a winner.
Let me head coaching. Let me say this: head coaching jobs are they don't come every day, coach. So whether it's Valley or Tupelo, Mississippi, if I get opportunity to be able to choose a head coach, and I got a position, man, you won't believe. Hell, look at these guys. Look at Vic and Deshaun Jackson. They took them. It ain't a problem. It ain't a problem finding a coach. It's just that you got to find a coach that's the right fit of where I am in my program.
Well,
Delaware State is a losing program, and they need somebody that, to me, with some experience, that's been around the block, to know what winning looks like, what it smells like, and what it is. That's
Coach,
all I'm saying.
Rocky, hold on one second. I want to address that. Coach, a lot of people have texted me this. They want you to clarify, does the guy actually have to have HBCU coaching experience, or are you just talking about a black coach that has coaching experience?
I'm talking about a coach, and preferably an African-American coach that have had coaching experience and that have either been the head coach in winning a championship game or have been on several championship programs.
So it doesn't have to be HBCU. It could be any level, but
it could be. You guys know I prefer HBCU guys in HBCU schools, but in Delaware State, I would go out and try to get me a guy who have been or have won championships.
Okay.
Who have been in the program,
I had to clear that up.
not turn around.
Let's go over this last hire, because I think this last hire was the most notable hire of the entire cycle so far, right? Which was Mike Vick. I was super excited when Mike Vick was hired. I was disappointed when I saw the initial press conference, because I didn't think they put enough into it considering the magnitude of the hire. But all in all, I was able to give it a B+ just by sheer fit and excitement. It was able to give a B+. Mr. Campbell, you gave it a B. Share your B, and then we go to Coach. Coach gave it a C-.
I'm gonna tell you something. I had just the presentation and the overall. I just think Michael Vick was not prepared, and that is a red flag to me. I just didn't feel that he was prepared. I don't think he just knew certain things about the school just yet. I think he's going to be able to recruit again, because in that area, I think that's going to mean a lot. I think what really is going to help him, I think the alumni are going to be super energized. And I think, one thing about it, man, and I, as somebody who saw alumni be energized and not be energized, I've been on both sides of it in multiple schools. When you got an energized alumni, they will run through what we literally was going to pay Willie Simmons $500,000+ to be our coach, because we were so excited. Think about that, okay? Willie Simmons, without blinking, we were going to get that man $500,000. So you can't tell me it's not possible. So my point of it is with Michael Vick, and the thing that I think they're missing a boat, and again, we'll see when the school year starts. But to me, when you have Michael Vick and his family, man, that should have been Christmas cards going out to anybody that's giving over $1,000 to Norfolk State. Merry Christmas from the Vicks. Here go a QR code to send me $700. You know what I mean? Those are the things that I don't feel that they've got that together. So I don't think that's going to be I think I haven't heard a lot about who's going to be on this coaching staff. I've been calling people. I know a lot of people in that area. I had one person, unfortunately, he couldn't come on tonight, that knows intimately those guys. So again, I can just give a B. I think the excitement from the alumni is going to be there, but I think just overall, when you look at the guys that got A's and even, like I said, with Gibbs, I think they're just a better fit overall from the coaching standpoint.
All right, Coach Cole, you can give your critique.
I think this is the same thing with Deshaun Jackson. The reason why I gave Michael Vick a C- is because he is from Norfolk. He is from that area. He can identify with people around there, but he's not an alumni of Norfolk. You know, I think that you know, he has a better opportunity to maybe steal a player or two from some of the schools there, but he's recruiting against some of the best. I mean, you got Chennis Berry right there, you got Trey Oliver right there, you got Hampton right there. So he's going to have his hands full. God, and let me tell you something, and this is coming from the heart. Man, if you ain't walked them streets of HBCU and sat in them dorms, and you don't have a piece of skin in the game, man, you know, I would stand on Mount Everest and talk about HBCU. And I think as a leader and as somebody in those positions, if you don't have that awareness, if you don't feel that way strongly about representing the HBCU and really know what it is coming from them, there's always different recruiting tactics. One of my recruiting tactics, and again, it ain't about me, was trying to get an 18-year-old and his mother, when I get his mother shaking her head, yeah, because what I talk to him about is, man, don't think about the here and now. Let's think about when you finish from here, you know, and what you're going to be able to do, and we're going to be able to and deal with people. And what you're going to find out is how great you are on the inside of coming here. You know who you are. You know when you go outside and you're going to compete. And I can relate, and a person that walked through there can relate and will feel that way, because you're going to run into some obstacles out there. You're going to be sitting there as a coach, and you're going to go to a school, and the coach is going to be sending you somewhere where you're taller than everybody in the room, per se, instead of sending him my way. You're going to have to dig and stay all day and maybe meet a kid somewhere. They ain't just going to be turning their kids over to some people. Because now with the NIL and the collective bargaining, don't think that there's not some high school coaches that's not getting a rub on the hand as well. So can Norfolk rub a hand? I don't know. We will see. And again, not talking about being in the head job and what you need to do. And I've been there and I've seen it. This is what we need to do. This is the direction we need to go. And coming there with a plan, man, it's going to be tough. And then, you know, you got those 5 teams. You know, again, it's going to be tough on beating North Carolina Central. It's going to be tough beating South Carolina State. Hell, it's going to be tough beating Morgan.
What about Howard?
Shit, and Howard, they going to come back. You know what I'm saying? And all them guys got experienced coaches, have been through the ropes. You know, hey, look what Chris Dishman did at Texas Southern. And that's going to become inexperienced. Nothing personal. None of this is personal. All these guys are great men. And please don't take it personal. But when you put that cap on, you're a head coach, and you got to have the answers. And sometimes you got to have them right now.
Let me ask you this here, Coach, because we got all your grades and everything, but I think this is a good question, a good exercise, Coach. And I'm going to take you out the equation. Your protege, or a guy we just hired, Quinton Morgan, you can put him in any one of these jobs and you want him to succeed. Which one of these jobs would you put Quinton Morgan in?
Coach, I think he's been a head coach long enough to be in all of them.
No. That's not what I'm saying. Which one of these jobs is the best job, Coach?
That I think he would do well in?
Yeah.
Shit, Coach, I think he would do well in all of them.
Coach, I didn't want to ask you this, Coach. If you had to choose, if someone gave you one of these jobs, you could choose any one of them. Which one would you choose?
Oh, you're saying the schools.
Yes.
And which one would say that again, Coach? I got it.
If you could choose which one of these jobs is the best job for a coach?
I would say for a coach's career, I would say North Carolina A&T, and this is why. They play on both sides. They play HBCU schools and they play PWIs. And most coaches want to go up and have this will give you a better avenue to be able to break through and go work at a PWI school and go on with your career. You know what I mean? Working now in North Carolina A&T was like working at Tennessee State. A lot of those guys in the OVC and in the Big South Conference and stuff, they win those conferences and then they go on to a next Division 1A school probably. And that's the only way, that would be the only time you have that great opportunity to. You can win a whole bunch of SWAC championships at PV, you ain't going nowhere. You can win a whole bunch of championships at Alabama A&M, the chances are it's slim to none. You know, and I'm talking about numbers. I'm not guessing. In the last, my 40 years in the SWAC and then in MEAC, how many coaches we have now have gone on and left as a head coach from a SWAC school and went on and got a job at a Division 1A school? There's only been 3, right, Coach Campbell?
Yeah.
There only been 3, and then of course now we got the guy that just left Florida A&M and Duke, and his plan is actually working out. Now he's at FIAU. So I mean, in 40 years, y'all tell me which one of these schools that if that's your attention, to go work at a school.
I was just saying, I just wanted to know which one of these jobs is the best job from your perspective. You know, from your perspective.
Well, see, I got a different perspective because I'm an HBCU guy. I would take Prairie View.
Okay.
Because I like Texas football, Houston, close to my family, close to my kids. You know what I mean? And they got the potential. Great stadium, great fan base. I would take it hands down.
So, Camel, as a HBCU fan, what is your perception of which one of these jobs is the best job?
I'm going to keep saying this. Them boys is running on half empty, and they went to 2 SWAC championship games, and that's Prairie View. Okay? Think about that. In the Dion era, we've had 4 Celebration Bowls. Prairie View's been in there twice, and they've had nowhere near the type of team they should have. So that just lets you know the type of talent that's down there in Texas. And I'm going to keep saying this till I'm blue in the face. If they could get somebody, and I think Coach Jackson is that guy, man, Prairie View is going to be hell to play. Because I think that he's going to be able to get players. Man, because, man, I'm going to say this again real quick. Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, because of Jackson State's legacy, and FAMU should always be good. Somebody in Louisiana should always be good because it's players all up and down Louisiana. Jackson State should always be good because hell, a lot of people don't want to go to Ole Miss. Prairie View should be good because and Florida is Florida. Those 4 schools should always be knocking people's heads off. Seriously. And if it's me, and like I said, and I can get there with half-cocked teams. Come on, man. They really put something together at Prairie View.
Because this is something that Cam Ward mentioned. Prairie View or the HBCUs didn't even offer him a scholarship, and he only had one. Cam Ward.
Oh, Cam Ward. Let me go through these real quick. You got Norfolk. Shit, coach. They got to get through South Carolina State and North Carolina Central, and they play a short. Delaware State, perennial loser. It's tough. It's gonna be tough getting that going in the right direction. North Carolina A&T, they play in the PWI, and it's tough, and they taking a bad program. A&M and Prairie View are the best jobs to me and depending on where you want to go. Like I said, A&T is if you want to try to bounce your career into the Division I Power 5. I think if you can run through the conference, I think you get that opportunity. But A&M and Prairie View, man, they sit. A&M is not good because they sitting over on the side with Jackson State, Florida A&M, and Alabama State.
Thank you, bro. That's head knocking. That's head knocking, bro.
Yeah. So Prairie View, man, is the job.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got the last 2 HBCU national champions that's sitting up there, and you got Alabama State that is always going to be. And I'm going to say this again. I had a conversation with somebody today. Man, sooner or later, Bethune-Cookman is going to figure out how to start winning games again. Because, again, they're in Florida. They're going to start biting people again. So I'm just trying to think. That East is, hey, man, if I'm, again, Prairie View, they've already won the West twice out of the last 4 years.
Tambo, what my school? We in Texas. We got more schools around us.
Man, y'all are a basketball school. Man, Texas coach, listen, you know that. We just go with Coach. Were you in school when Harry Machine Gun Kelly was there?
Yeah, Coach. Yeah.
Okay. Jackson, Mississippi legend. Shout out to Harry Machine Gun Kelly. So that's what I'm saying, man. Texas Southern's a basketball school, man. And they do well. They make a lot of money. They're a basketball school. But Prairie View, in essence, is a football school. I think people don't understand. Prairie View is a football school. Yeah. They really are.
And for people who don't know, Texas Southern has one of the best and winningest basketball programs in all of Division 1A basketball. Yeah. True story. I think I wanted to say they was in the top 5, but for sure they're in the top 10.
Like I say, Texas Southern. So my thing is just basketball first, and it's Houston. It makes sense. But like I say, Prairie View, man, I just think that, like I say, if they could be a machine. They could be a machine down there. And like I said, but I'm going to say this again. Prairie View folks, y'all doing that, bro. Y'all got all that money. Y'all got that nice, man, all them people, Dallas. Man, y'all got to pack that stadium out. And stop using the excuse, oh, we can't make it because y'all ass over there room for Texas and Texas A&M instead of room for your team.
Hey, guys, we got a couple callers, man.
Calls, man.
Yeah, we got a couple of them. Okay, hey, callers. Callers.
Man. Like I said, boy, y'all great, boy. Y'all push me to the limit sometimes.
All right. Hey, caller, with 7804, you're live on HBCU Coaches Corner.
Hey, what's up, fellas?
What's going on, man?
Listen, Scotty. Listen, listen, man. I have a problem. It's just a lot of contradicting statements on this live right here. How can you say that you can get a championship coach and go to Delaware State when you tell me it's a perennial loser? That doesn't make any sense. If it's a perennial loser, it needs a lifeblood change. And to me, I'm going to keep saying, this is not the 80s. It's not the 70s. It's not the 60s. You need to make a program cool and relevant. And Delaware State is neither cool nor relevant. And that's what Deshaun Jackson does. He makes you cool and he makes you relevant. And again, he only has to win 5 games. It's literally 5 games. If he wins 3 or 4 of those games, it will be more than anybody's done at Delaware State since, I believe, Rod Milstead, when he went 5-6. So again, it's not a hard hurdle to get over. And he can't. And listen, if you get the right talent, the MEAC is not that crazy talented to where it's like, oh man, we can't compete. No, Morgan State is not there. Howard's a rebuild. South Carolina State's about to be in a rebuild because they lost their quarterback. We'll see how that looks. And then NCCU is the only perennial program that you can be like, you know what, year in, year out, they're going to be solid. They're going to be decent. So and Norfolk's in a rebuild with Vic. So everything is up for grabs. And if you get the right quarterback, you get the right talent in there, you're good. And again, he doesn't have to know it all. He just has to know what he don't know. As long as he knows what he doesn't know and he hires people around him, he can be successful. I think what's crazy to me is I think that I'm not giving any credence to knowing your craft. I'm not. But last time I checked, half of the battle is getting Jimmy's and Joe's. Rocky, am I crazy?
No. You ain't crazy, Scotty. You just don't know what you're talking about because you never put on a hat nor a whistle.
If half the battle is Jimmy,
you've never been in the trenches. You've always been in the booth. You go by what you see.
I don't care about being in the trenches.
Like a fan. You talking to the wrong guy. You trying to tell me about my profession. And if I sit and listen to you tell me about my profession, then I ain't nobody. I'm a championship.
I'm not telling you not.
I've been in the trenches.
And I have an opinion. And even though you've sat in the seat and we've given you credence for sitting in the seat, you aren't sitting in the seat currently. And you're not in this decade. And you're not in this era. So at the end of the day, there are things that change. I do believe in a lot of things that you say when it comes to understanding but there is a different way of recruiting. It
does not change my knowledge. In my history, it doesn't change.
Nobody's telling you that. Okay, you said Chris Dishman. I'll go back to that example. You said Chris Dishman. Well, he's been the only one to be praised in the last 11 years.
And what are you saying?
And what? That's a fact.
That's what I'm saying. What does that mean? Did he win a championship?
You said Chris Dishman didn't know what he was doing. He's been the most competitive I've seen at Texas Southern in over 10, 11 years because he's beat his rival.
I didn't say he don't know what he's doing. With his lack of experience, he made a bad call or didn't make the right call that cost him the game. I didn't say that he ain't no good. It's just because of his experience. And if you had the experience, which these two guys don't, these celebrity guys, they gonna make those
He's going on two-point conversions and lost games. What are we talking about? Coaches have experience and make bad calls all the time. Is that not true? People look back at Dawson Odom.
That's true, right?
Why would you do that?
So why would you think that a guy has no experience is going to be successful?
Because I've seen guys in HBCU with experience be ass. That's why, Coach. I've seen that with my own two eyes.
See, Eric Dooley. See, you're one of those guys.
I've seen Eric Dooley be ass. I've seen Dawson Odom go to Norfolk and not be good. I've seen these coaches go from one position to another and not be good.
But
so
Scotty,
again,
all of them, that's Scotty, you're saying what I'm saying. There's only about 25%, 30% of coaches that's going to win. Just go back and look. They go over here and win. They go over here and win. They go in over here and win, right? That's on all levels, not just in the SWAC. The problem is when guys like you come into the HBCU realm, you guys want to judge us on a different level. All coaches make mistakes. All of them. So why in the hell would you think to hire somebody with no experience that's going to come in and be successful?
Can I ask that, Coach?
You're giving him a flag because he caught some touchdowns in the NFL. So if he come in and win 2 or 3 games, Can
I answer that question, Coach? There's one reason, and I've said this on the phone call with you before, Coach. There's one reason why Deshaun Jackson and Michael Vick get those jobs. Because Dion went 2 years in a row in the SWAC without losing the game.
They tell me, why did the OVC didn't look at Dion and say, oh, well, let me bring it in. Why did the ACC or the SAC or the Southland Conference, or why have anybody else haven't took that model? Because it's asinine to hire somebody in a CEO position that has not had any experience.
Trent Dilfer did it. Listen, I look at it like this. You can't, if Delaware State hires Deshaun Jackson, which they did, and they don't win, is it a loss to them? I'm asking a question. If they go 1-11 with Deshaun Jackson, is it a loss? They've been a perennial loser. What do they have to lose?
Guess what?
What do they have to lose?
You make sense. You make sense. They ain't got nothing to lose, but I know who does lose.
They don't got nothing to lose, Coach.
It's the young man that we had on earlier today. He the one that loses.
No, he doesn't. You know why he doesn't, Coach? Because if Deshaun Jackson is not successful, what happens? He gets fired. And if that young guy you say is so great, he should then get his opportunity. So again, there is no lose-lose in the situation. If Deshaun Jackson does well, Delaware State elevates and HBCU football elevates. If he doesn't do well, he gets fired like every other coach, and then maybe your Quinton Morgan gets the opportunity. Maybe another guy on the assistant staff gets the opportunity.
I don't want you to ever think, or our audience to think, that I got something against Deshaun Jackson. My issue and problem is always against the process. I just don't agree with the process, wrong or right. You know what I'm saying? I just don't believe in the process. Deshaun Jackson might be a great guy.
I need you to keep that same energy across the board when it comes to processes. Kappa's hiring Kappas. Omega's hiring Omegas. Alpha's hiring Alphas. I need you to keep that same energy across the landscape.
Homeboys hiring homeboys at Grambling.
Let's not play this game. Let's not play this game because it goes across the board with processes. Because there's a lot of white guys that can get opportunities at HBCUs as well that don't. But we ain't going to even go in that lane. So my thing is this. Let's not play like processes.
We can go that road. We can go that lane. Yeah. Once again, it's the process. I'm against the process in HBCU because if we go away to non-revenue sports, hell, our predecessor, our Kakashi, PWI guys are getting those jobs as well. That's why I'm trying to fight at this level. If you go to some of these HBCU schools and look at their athletic department, it's starting to turn PWI.
Hey, Rocky, hold on. Let me clarify something. Let me tell you something. And y'all know I love Scott, but let me tell you what Scott is gonna do. If Deshaun Jackson's not successful, you know what he's gonna do? He's gonna have a big show. I told y'all they should have hired Ray Lewis. Ray Lewis was the guy. They should have hired Ray Lewis. See, that was the wrong celebrity. They should have hired Ray Lewis. They should. Now, I want Ray Lewis tomorrow. Let's get Ray Lewis on there. I'm starting the clock right now. I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna go back to looking at HBCUs again if Ray Lewis show up. That's what Scott ain't gonna do.
I wanted Ray Lewis to go to Morgan. But no, my thing is, and it's the same way I felt about Aries, the same way I felt about Michael Vick. And I'm gonna say this: it doesn't matter. The wins and losses don't matter to me in this particular instance because Delaware State needs to become relevant. People just need to know about Delaware State. And that's what Deshaun Jackson does. Deshaun Jackson shines a light on Delaware State. He makes them relevant. He makes them cool. If he wins, it goes through the roof. If he loses, it's better than any other coach. What Lee Hall did at Delaware State, if Deshaun Jackson does the same thing, they make more money, they get more publicity, and they still go 1-11. So it's a benefit to the school. So I do not understand it. I just don't get it.
Scott,
and if let me ask you this, Scotty. Let me ask you this, Scotty. Where are you getting your numbers from? Because my numbers in my information don't say that. It don't, and it doesn't say that about Tennessee State with Eddie George. It doesn't say that. Where are you getting your numbers from? That's automatic.
So Tennessee State didn't get a hike in viewership because Eddie George was there?
I'm waiting.
I just asked you. So Tennessee State didn't get a hike in viewership because Eddie George was there?
A hike in what now?
Viewership.
A hike in viewership.
Visibility.
Do you know how many people was at the game, the championship game? I was there.
I didn't ask you about attendance. That's the HBCU thing. I'm not asking you about attendance. I'm asking you about eyeballs.
I'm not sure. They wasn't on television as much. What were we talking about? Did they make money? Was hard money coming from them getting viewerships?
I mean, the eyes matter, do they not? Eyeballs matter. When have they not?
No, only money matters.
Everybody talks about ratings for the Celebration Bowl. Everybody talks about ratings for a SWAC championship. Everybody talks about ratings for a classic. So what are we talking about? Do eyeballs not matter?
No, not if they're not making money. Not if they're not making money. What are you saying? They were on television, ESPN.
So let me ask you this here, Coach Cole, because this is the point I wanted to bring up. If LC Cole is one of four teams left, one of four teams that ties for the Big South OVC championship, does LC Cole get a bid in the tournament?
Do the bid. Well, you know he went to two.
No. What I was just saying, if he's one of four, so there were 4 teams tied for the championship.
Well, you know they got a tie-breaking rule.
No. They were fourth. They would be, you consider them 4.
Coach, I've never. Anytime we came in a tie, it's always been a tie-breaker rule from the conference.
But my point is,
I don't think they chose Tennessee State from Eddie George.
They got an at-large. They got an at-large bid, Coach. Would they get an at-large bid if LC Cole was the coach?
Coach, I can't answer that. I can't answer that. I don't have enough information.
No, I can't, because ain't no name behind it. It's Eddie George. Eddie George. EG.
Well, you know I'm gonna do my research. You know I'm gonna do my research, and I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna let y'all know that didn't happen.
No. What I'm saying is, Coach, they lost to a team that they tied with that was left out.
Yeah, I know, Coach. I know it's once again, it's a tie-breaking process that every conference has. And it does not have anything to do with who is the head coach. That's what I'm saying.
No,
it's either who you played against, who you beat by a certain number. It's a process, guys. And I'll find that process and I'll bring it back to the show of how
Scotty,
they chose Tennessee State.
Scotty, he leave?
I'm here.
Rocky?
No, he's here.
Okay. Hey, listen.
No, I'm here.
Okay, that's what. Sometime in the next couple of weeks, we got to have the old head, new head summit, man. We got to bring this together, man. We got too many people asking for it. I'm gonna talk to you offline about it. It'll be box office because we got to have it, man. We got to have it.
Yeah.
It's listen, man. At the end of the day, I keep saying this: if you don't innovate, you will die. And I feel like right now, like Coach Cole is like Blockbuster and I'm Netflix. Okay, Blockbuster worked when it worked, it worked. When Blockbuster was hot, it was hot. Everybody came in, got some kicks, you know what I'm saying? Late fees, dues, and all that. But now I'm Netflix, okay? And now we want something easy. In the celebrity route, if it works, it's an easier. Listen, what I will say this to Coach Cole, and I will agree with you on this. Hiring a celebrity takes a lot of responsibility off the ADs and administration to do their job. Why? Because the celebrity is a self-promoting machine that they do not have to be a part of. They literally sit back, put it on 3 minutes, and let it cook itself. And that's what the celebrity factor does. And a lot of HBCUs are cool with that because why? I don't want to put in the work to market, promote my product, and put work behind it. So I get a celebrity, a Michael Vick or Deshaun Jackson, to promote my program for me. So now when he leaves, I have a sense of promotion that now I can work off and build off of. And that's where we're at in this day and age. Wait
a minute. I want to jump on that. But see, your argument has been, look, we had Michael Vick, right? They brought Michael Vick in. And what was your argument? They did not have the machine ready to support exactly what you just said. You literally did a whole show, and me and you talked for 2 hours. Like, where was the machine?
He is sleep talking.
So even
right.
with the name,
Michael Vick is still the machine.
But no, is it? If there's no gas in the car can't go anywhere. There was no gas in that car. Me and you talked about this. Did you not agree with that?
Michael Vick is the car, and he has the gas.
I'm talking about I'm asking you a question. Because you did a whole show about you were upset about what they did not have ready to go. You did a show. So I'm asking you the question. Were you upset about that?
Okay, let me answer your question. Because I get your analogy, but I think it's off just a bit. Michael Vick is the engine. Michael Vick is the car. Michael Vick is the gas. They don't know how to maintain the car. They don't know how to do maintenance on the car, but the car itself can drive. Michael Vick is going to drive itself. It's Michael Vick. What they don't know how to manage the tires. They don't know when to do the oil change. They don't know how to put the windshield wiper fluid in it. They don't know how to maintain the car.
Can I explain the analogy? I think they know how to maintain a car, but Vic is a rocket ship.
Man, now you got what are y'all smoking, man? Man, what the hell are y'all?
Vic is the space shuttle, coach. He's not just a car. He's a space shuttle. He's a bona fide sports icon superstar.
Concert and they can sing. I would say, yeah, let's go. Man, we're talking about coaching football. We're talking about developing young people. And at the end of the day, we're talking about winning.
Not astronauts, Rocky. Winning. We're talking about no astronauts.
Coach,
please.
Coach, I'm going to tell you this here, Coach. Broderick Forbes, Clarence McKinney, what's the other guy at Alabama A&M? That was
Connell Maynard.
Connell Maynard, the guy before at Alabama State. All them could have ended this experiment. Willie Simmons, all of them could have ended this experiment, but they didn't.
Yeah, if they beat Deion, it's not even a conversation.
Yeah,
it's not even a conversation.
If Willie beats
Deion 1 year in the OBC, it's not a conversation.
Because none of you guys have answered this for me. Why is this model only in HBCU? Why y'all think it'll work in HBCU, and why y'all don't think the other schools at the other schools level? Let me finish. Do not take this model.
Coach, it's simple. Coach, the other schools don't have the institutional challenges that HBCUs have.
Coach, do y'all understand that HBCU school? Don't let it fool you. That's our problem now with HBCU schools. Coach, we pay more. We pay our head coaches and our assistant coaches more than anybody. We have bigger attendance more than anybody. We got more eyeballs, and when I'm saying anybody, I'm saying schools at our level. And see, that's the problem with us, is because we don't believe in us, and we always think us and them, their ice is better than ours. Now, do they do some things better than we do? Yes, they do. They do. But look at the Celebration Bowl. The Celebration Bowl is one of the top attended bowls in the nation. Now, does that mean that a celebrity needs to come in and take over? No. It just means that we need to do better and be better and hire people in the right places who has experience, who has done it, who has seen it and touched it.
Hey,
we're
Coach,
going out and getting somebody to come in and make us famous. We are famous. And as far as talking about HBCUs is going to die, man, we were here before, back in 1800s, and we're going to be here when all of us is gone. That's bullcrap. The SWAC is going to be reigning the SWAC conference just like any other conference.
Hey, Coach, we got a couple callers and then we're going to get out of here. 8310. 8310. Hey, say what you're going to say and get off. I know you've been holding a long time, man, but we try to get out of here. It's bedtime for us. Go ahead, 8310.
No problem. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we hear you just fine, man.
Hey, this is Lionel with PV versus everybody. First of all, I don't know why y'all think the FCS committee cares about Eddie George at all. They don't care nothing about that man because that man ain't getting nowhere close to Frisco. Okay, they ain't got nothing to do with why they chose to put him in the playoffs. But that's neither here nor there. Obviously, mainly calling about the from the press conference today. The energy is honestly crazy. Right now, I wish you guys could really have seen the room. I mean, literally jam packed with alum who literally, took off in the middle of the day to basically come up for this press conference, man. And obviously, Coach T. Jack, man, he just laid it down. And so, I think people are really excited, and I think we got some momentum, man, and we building. And I want to say, because I think people underestimate the reality of, there's gonna be battles in every fan base and alumni base. As far as I heard Coach Cole earlier talk about, this was my guy, or this guy was my guy, and so the support can kind of wane or ebb and flow sometimes, right? But I think there's also you have to kind of see the waves of momentum that's building in different universities, right? And the reality is from the top of the university, starting with President LeGrand, and her thought process, hey, we want to be an eminent institution, period. We want R1 status. That's what she's aiming after, right? She's not settling for where we are now. So she's looking at the university from that large standpoint of like, no, we need to be on this level. And she's saying, and when I had a conversation with her, she's like, listen, that's everything in the university. That includes athletics, right? You know what I'm saying? So we're not satisfied with just being okay, right? And so this is not something that just started today, right? We don't go hire Tremaine Jackson because simply 80 Golf has a thought process like this. This is something that's been brewing amongst the alum for a while, right? You know what I'm saying? This has been building to this point to where now you're looking for something specific because you're trying to go to a specific destination. The destination has to be set first before you go and make a move like this, right? And I think people not understanding that. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So let me ask you this, Yolanda, because I'm very close to a lot of Prairie View alumni, and we have a large Prairie View alumni here in Central Texas. And this is what I want to ask you. Amongst your alumni, they accept that the university is not serious about football. What about hiring Tremaine Jackson has changed that in 2 weeks?
I don't agree with your perception, first of all, right? So it's like the question is incorrectly framed in the first place, because I think that's a complete misalignment. You know what I mean? I think there's a large contingent of alums that really do care about athletics, that really do care about
No, I say the perception is the school is not serious about football. That's what my point. The perception is the school is not serious about football.
Okay, well, yeah, when you talk about from a university standpoint, right, and I think that's why Coach T. Jackson was talking about alignment, right, because president from before, her focus was really definitely academic-based, right? She kind of let the department kind of do what it does, right, on the side. It was clear that President LeGrand, when she came in, she recognized, right, and her background is obviously in, you know what I'm saying, in growing, right, student bases, right, you know, even previous stock she's been at, she understands the importance of what athletics does for that, right, you know what I'm saying? So she came in with a mindset that this has to be a key part of what we're trying to do and where we're trying to grow, right? She has a desire to grow the student base, right? You know, we want to be one of the largest HBCUs, period, right? You know what I'm saying? Talking about up there with like A&T as far as numbers, et cetera. So she understands that, right? So her alignment to that is evident, and even in the money and the resources that she has redistributed to even the football program right now to say, hey, we want to make sure that you got even support staff and things around you that hey, you're gonna be good.
Hey, my buddy, can you bring it to the end, man? We need to get another call and we'll discuss it. You know what you're saying, or can you get it to the point?
Yeah.
I don't mean to cut you.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, I was just making a point that this is not something that just happens overnight. I think that's a thought process that this hire, maybe 80 Golf, he wants this thing. I agree with that. But there's a reason that those things come to pass. It's because this has been brewing for a while. This is just start overnight with the alum feeling like, hey, this is where we should be. We're not where we should be. And this is what we want, right? We don't want to be second, third fiddle, right? We want to be one of the best FCS programs in the nation, right? That's not something that's just started today. You get what I'm saying? So that's all I was saying. At the end of the day, we got the numbers, right? You know what I'm saying? And with the alumni base over 80,000, that's not even, I mean, how many HBCUs have more than 80,000 graduates, right? You know what I'm saying? So the numbers are there to be able to do some of the things that we're seeking to do. It's just the alignment and putting things together. So anyway, all right. I'll let y'all go.
I appreciate it. It's our last one, man. Hey, caller with 8182, you're live on HBCU Coaches Corner. Please make it quick.
This is Coach Green right here, man.
Hey, what's up, Coach Green?
It's gonna be quick.
I'm good. It's gonna be quick. There's a couple of things that y'all was wrong about, Coach Cole was wrong about. In the NBA, they hired a couple coaches that didn't have no experience. Then in college, Ed McCaffrey was a head coach.
What school, Coach? What school? Coach Green, what school?
It was Northern Colorado. Northern Colorado. They did that. And Trent Dipple came straight out of high school, and he's at UAPB. North Texas tried to make a splash hire, and they hired Coach Dodd out of high school. And all his experience was just strictly high school. And they did it. It didn't work out for them, but they made a splash hire. That was a splash hire when they did it. And as far as the NBA, you had Steve Nash. You got right now.
I'm gonna say this, Green. They were coaches. Whether it was in high school or not, they were coaches. And they've sat in that seat before. So, and then look what's happening with Trent Dipper. Because he don't have experience, he's struggling at UAB. So, I mean, what are we saying?
But he coached high school. He coached high school. So
yes. And he won a state title. Yes.
Okay. He
won a state title in high school, went on to Miles College and won a championship there. He's had experience.
Deshaun Jackson was an offensive coordinator at a high school. And that high school was winning.
So, Coach Reed, so in your opinion, that is enough. That experience.
1 year.
An actual coach. You're a coach. So you think that is enough for him
1
to be
year.
a head coach at a high level HBCU? Because this is the high level we play in. FCS. So you believe that is enough?
So it works out for some people. It don't work out for everybody. It works out for some.
Okay. All right, Coach Green.
It worked out for some. So it worked out for Dion because he ain't coached high school that long, but it worked out for him.
I'm gonna say this again, and I'm gonna listen. If this is 2025, if
Man,
any one of you son of a guns do not mention, listen, no, we're gonna do a no Dion zone here. I don't want to. Dion is one.
All right, no Dion.
Dion is one of one.
I give you Eddie George.
Yeah, because like I say, because I'm gonna say it on the flip side. Dion did that and still ain't won a bowl game yet, so that don't mean nothing. Win a championship. Keep it moving, man. I'm not gonna let y'all have that.
Hey, well,
come on, Rocky, next call.
Hey,
George.
Hey, I did, Coach Green. We finna wrap it up, man. We got it. It's bedtime, baby.
Hey, Rocky, let me say something real quick. I want to get to Lionel's point. First of all, shout out to Lionel and those young brothers, man. That brother's really trying to push the PV agenda. He was there. He asked a great question. The old heads were there. We got to pass the baton to these young guys, him and Josh over there, Central. But the thing about it, there has got to be some alignment with the thought process of everybody. So I'm going to say this, and this is what has bothered me with this whole discussion. I think this is a great discussion, but I don't know if we actually know what we want from an HBCU community. Coach Cole is saying one thing. You got Scotty saying another thing. You got people. Me, I think I'm more in the middle. I think Rocky, you and I kind of in the middle.
Yeah.
But I think the discussion, that's what I'm saying. I would like to see what is our overall goal. Because to me, in the end, as Coach said, you got to be a winner. You got to be a winner. Because no matter what anybody said, when you win, because all I know is Jack State is printing out 1 million T-shirts that they about to sell and make money. Because they won. We should have did the same thing, and we missed the boat on that. When you win, people will donate money. Those people at Prairie View were excited, and why, like I say, Lionel said they took off because they feel there's a chance for them to win. Because they're in Texas. They work with other people from SWAC schools. They don't want to get trashed on all the time. It's the same thing. I know Jack State people. Jack State people call me all the time. I don't like that. So it's the pride of my university where we want us to win. So the bottom line is this. And Coach Cole, I'm going to ask you this. Do you think there's any way that there is a middle ground for a coach that, again, that played in the NFL, because these guys are NFL players, that they can be successful? What do they? So my question, what does Deshaun Jackson and Michael Vick need to do to be successful?
Well, Coach, man, you know, I can't even say that because they're being really put in a situation that's not real. It's not a good situation for them. You know what I'm saying? You're putting this guy in a situation, and you're putting this pressure on him that you got to raise money, and then you got to develop young folks, which they have most time don't have no experience at. You got to come in and coach a football team, which they don't have no experience of doing that. It's a difference, man, It's a difference but being in a seat in the classroom than sitting up at the front as a teacher. You know, you're asking a pupil to now teach the class. You know, and you don't have experience. You're trying to take a freshman kid and put him in front of seniors. You know, and it just don't happen. I think the situation you're putting them in is a bad situation. And furthermore, as an HBCU guy myself and been around, we don't need that. We don't need that to be who we are. We're not going anywhere. We got to be proud and loud of what we have. We come through HBCUs and walk through those hallways and walk through down those streets and understanding who we are. That's what HBCUs teach us, of who we are as African American people in this world. And that's why we go out and be successful. We don't need that. We need things start from the top. We're talking from the bottom. We're saying, let's get the bottom straight and then we're going to be okay. No, everything starts at the top. And I've told you guys, all these fundraising things that we think is going to go on and going to happen because we got a guy with a famous name, if they're not in place, it ain't going to happen. And especially at the end of the day, Bishop, you got to win.
Well, Coach,
That's a human life. That if I buy something new, human nature, I buy something new shoes, I'm going to take care of them shoes. Ain't no different. We got Vic in here. We got Deshaun. Oh, man, rah. Once them shoes start getting old, we're going to throw them in the. Once some coaches come in here and don't be successful, you're going to be even worse off than where you were.
But, Coach, I'm going to make this last point, Rocket. I'm not trying to belabor this, but this goes back to my connection. Coach, you know you can make how much money you could make if you would sit down with a Deshaun Jack and consult him and say, hey, listen, I've been a championship coach. You're coming in this. Let me consult you. Same thing with Michael Vick. Maybe that might be your way to me making $200,000. Did you ever think? No, seriously. Because you know what it takes, right? Let's go to Scotty's point. You know what it takes, but there is the Rocket few. Rocky's analogy, Scotty's analogy, stuff like that. And you went to Deshaun Jackson and say, listen, let me tell you something. Walking in this door, I'm going to tell you how to do this thing. You will be amazed how successful people like that, because there are a lot of people that have talent but don't have experience. And then they bring in somebody with experience that whisper in there and say, go left, go right. And you never even see them. I've done that for a lot of people. They call me and say, hey, Mr. Campbell, I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to make some money. And I'm going like, do this, go right, go left. And so that's the thing about, I think that's where your opportunity is at, Coach. Well, maybe instead of saying, hey, Michael Vick, maybe we need to get Michael Vick on the phone and say, hey, listen, man, I know what you're trying to go through. Here are the ropes to, and hey, to my FAMU people, ropes to skip, ropes to know. That's a great book that you guys need to learn about. And it's about business development and how to navigate things. And Coach, that's why I think there's value in the old heads, because I think what you're doing, and I think what happens is we have this discussion going this way instead of saying, hey, because the guy's there, right? And if I'm Deshaun Jackson, I'm not saying he's not doing it. I'm not saying Michael Vick, because Michael Vick knows Andy Reid, but Andy Reid ain't got time to talk to Michael Vick. Come on, let's be honest. Let's be honest. He doesn't. He's never going to be able to have the time like you would have. No matter who Deshaun Jackson calls, they're not going to have the time or the understanding that you have. Would you not agree?
I agree.
Okay.
I agree.
I got you a job.
And Coach, and maybe that's what they're doing. I don't know.
Hey, Coach Cole, last question. How many wins for Mike Vick to be successful? How many wins for Deshaun Jackson to be successful in their first year?
3 or 4 their first year.
Both of them have the same total?
Yeah, 3 or 4.
Okay. All right, Coach. Hey, man, it's been a great show. It's time. If you ain't got nothing else, Campbell, it's time for old Coach to take us out of here.
Hey, man, I just got one thing to say, man. Hey, it's a brand new year. I just want everybody to do me one favor, man. Let's leave the negativity. And, man, let's really enjoy this HBCU community in 2025. We had too many people not celebrating Jackson State because my band went there first and my this, and we won the Celebration Bowl. Hey, man, if any one of our teams was successful, we all successful. So I'm going to ask all of y'all in 2025, man, let's keep it within the boundaries, man, because we got off course this last year. It was really bad, and I don't want to be part of this discourse. I want to be part of us having an enjoyable time like we did tonight. So, man, let's root everybody on, man. That's all I got.
Yeah. You know, one of the things, again, man, appreciate the audience, appreciate you guys following us. Guys, none of this is personal with me or Scotty or the Bishop. It's all opinionated to a certain degree. We are all experts in our in our own areas. And, you know, we look at things out of different lens, but everybody is entitled to their opinion. We take their opinion. I love Scotty. Scotty is going to always be a member of one of the people who actually started talking about HBCUs, you know, and he got a lot of people involved. And I think we're moving HBCUs in the right direction. This is not personal. All this is good. Every time we talk about HBCUs and Pacific colleges, man, that's good. That's showing our young people that we care. And I've always said that our ice is just as good as any other people's ice in the world. I think HBCUs are here to stay. They're gonna be here. I think there's been some great people who have walked through the HBCUs, and it's for me. And I'm here to tell that story. I had a prominent coach who has a statue behind him shared that with me, and he told me, he said, "Cole, you the guy. We're passing you the baton to make sure that you tell the story." And I want to tell the story. I believe that you can't go anywhere unless you know where you came from. And it's about history. We can not forget our history. It's where we are now. HBCUs were made for African American people. I know there is a new time, but why the new time? Why we always got to be the ones who give up our jobs and give up our opportunities when other people are not giving up theirs? We're losing jobs on the HBCU level like it's okay. Yeah, I know we got to change. I know we got to move forward, but when does that happen for us? When does the other side move forward for us? You know, we're always down. There are some colleges that have never even had an African American person in no sport. You know what I mean? Where we come in and we're blending and we're trying to do the right things, but the right things are not happening for us. So none of this is personal with me. I'm gonna lay down tonight, man, and I'm gonna feel good because there's somebody out there that I've touched. There's somebody that's been on this cast that called in and touched me as well and making me who I am. I appreciate it. I'm here to tell a story about the HBCU. I'll get on top of the mountain and talk about historically Black colleges and universities. And most of the time, I'm talking from experience. I'm not talking about from what I guess or what I've seen. I'm talking about I've been in the fight. So I want to thank you guys. I know we're about to take on a new president. I look forward to that. It's a new year. Guys, man, when you feel yourself at the end of the rope, you tie a knot and you hold on tight because ain't nobody bad like you.
Hey, my name is Danny Wilson and I won $500 on the lunch break with AJ Jones.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.